Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's the eve of Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, Parshat Emor. We're going into Shabbat, this Shabbat, with full hearts as we wish a Mazel Tov to the family of Marlo, our Bar Mitzvah tomorrow morning, and our Bat Mitzvah Nina tomorrow afternoon for Mincha. In general, as we walk into this Parsha each and every year, we are engaging with Parshat Emor, which is a parsha about, or a portion of the Torah that is dealing with Kohanim, with the priests, and the famous Torah from the Ishbitzer Rabbi, Mordechai Yosef of Ishbitz, where he speaks in Parshat Emor about complaints that some people might have in their lives, or ta'anot as he calls them, or essential questions about existence itself that are reflected in some of the laws related to the priests. He kind of takes each of the categories and then uses them to discuss basic categories of complaints one might have in their life about their experiences, or about their lot, or about their, we might call it their karma, the basic life that we have, and our dissonance with it. And the Ishbitzer Rebbe says that each one of the 5 holidays that are also enumerated in Parshat Emor reflect these 5 categories of complaint, each in their own way. Without going into each one of them, essentially he says that there's a way that in the mind of each and every one of us, there are certain experiences and certain places in our lives where, of course, we find ourselves wanting more or different, or wishing it were otherwise. And the power of the teaching from the Ishbitzer is that the holidays in the same parsha and the values in them are also a response to some of those moments of complaint. So, for example, I will go into one, I guess, about the purpose of the world and why death is in the world. Why must a world be created with death? And the Ishbitzer connects that complaint to the holiday of Passover, which is also in this week's Torah portion, as if to say that the cycle of life, that Passover represents in a conceptual way the death and rebirth of life itself, and renewal and liberation is possible. And so in response to the deep voice that says, why is there the vacuum known as death in the world, comes the Torah to say there is also what's known as Pesach, the holiday that is the holiday of rebirth and of liberation and freedom. Whatever it is that we're going through in our lives, Shabbat comes at this moment to infuse us, we hope, with a sense of an answer to a question, and that the answer might come in silence. It might come tonight with family and friends. It might come with a pause. It might come with a breath. It might come in not knowing. But to some extent, my prayer for each and every one of you this Shabbat on Parshat Emor is that whatever it is that is your question is met with an answer that helps to bring you peace and connection. We miss many of you who haven't yet been back to Ramamun, so we hope that you'll make your way back. We're in full force. We're in full, voice here in the sanctuary. So please come join us. Look forward to seeing you either in the room or in the Zoom. A good Shabbos to you. Shabbat Shalom.